Hi, I'm Ruth.
And I'm Chris, and we're church leaders for the churches in Mansfield of St John's and St Mary's.
Normally at this time of year, we would be inviting you guys from QE to come to St John's, to our church building, to introduce ourselves and to show you the church. Obviously, things are really different this year and we're not able to do that. So we've put together this video to introduce ourselves and to show you where we worship.
To help you get to know us a bit, we've got some questions that we're going to ask each other so that you can find out a little bit more about us. So the first one is to you, Ruth. What is the best thing you've made?
The best thing I've made. I do like making things, but probably the best thing was a double layered chocolate brownie cake with chocolate butter icing, chocolate Lego bricks, because why not, and all covered in gold glitter spray.
Sounds amazing.
It was delicious. So Chris, what is your favourite computer game?
I do like computer games. At the moment, I'm not sure I could choose between Among Us and Minecraft. They're the two things that I'm playing most right now. Well, Ruth, you mentioned chocolate cake. So what's your favourite thing to eat?
Probably like best the thing that's in front of me ready for me to eat. But if I had to choose one meal, it might be a really good lasagna or pizza. Okay,
Nice.
Chris, what's yours?
Mine would be a properly stacked burger with all the different sauces and bacon and cheese just dripping out of it.
I'm really hungry now.
So a little bit of a different style of question for you, Ruth. What animal are you most like?
Most like, probably an otter. I love being in water, but otters don't just build houses and eat and stuff. They play, and they often find rock slides to slide down and stuff. So I think probably something like an otter. Chris, what type of vegetable are you most like?
Okay. I am most like broccoli because I look a bit like a broccoli. I don't know.
Sure.
We both really love the Bible. So Ruth, what is your favourite bit of the Bible?
So there's a bit in the New Testament which is the story of the calming of the storm. Now, Jesus and all of his friends are in a boat and the waves have come crashing up. Jesus is asleep and they're all freaking out that they're going to die. Jesus wakes up because they shake him awake, and he stands up, looks around and is like, "Storm, be still." And it just all calms down. And I love it because quite often I feel like I'm the sort of person who looks around me and goes, "Oh my goodness, what is going on? Life is crazy." And I know that Jesus then calmed the storm, and Jesus nowadays can just calm my heart, calm my anxious thoughts, and it's just like, be still. What's your favourite story?
At the moment, I think mine would probably be about God being like a shepherd. So Jesus tells this story of how God is like a shepherd, and if just one of their sheep is lost, they'll go out and they'll search for it and not stop looking until they find it and they can bring it safely home. And there's also a really famous song in the middle of the Bible, one of the Psalms, which is about how God is our shepherd and he protects us and he looks after us. And I feel like in a time like this, the image of God as a shepherd is just a really great thing to have in mind.
Final question for you, Chris.
Yeah.
Why did you move to Mansfield?
So I know that God loves Mansfield, and I was just really excited to move to this place, to get stuck into the local church and to the community, and to see all of the potential that God sees and get involved in all of the stuff that God's going to do here. And so Ruth, what are you most excited about for our time in Mansfield?
I am most excited about seeing what God is going to do amongst the young people of Mansfield. What we've heard so far is you are an amazing bunch, and I cannot wait to see what God does and how he uses you guys to transform Mansfield and this country and the whole world.
Amazing. I think it's probably time that we took you over to show you our church building. So let's go. Welcome to St John's Church. We do have another church, St Mary's, up on the Ladybrook estate, but we wanted to welcome you here and show you around this building today. Now, the weather may be terrible outside, but it's always a warm welcome in here. So why don't you join us inside and we can show you around.
So this building was built to help people connect with God, to help them worship him. So we're going to show you some of the original features that helped people to worship God and some of the more modern things that we use today. So we're here at one of our stained glass windows. Now, in times when people couldn't read, they would use stained glass windows as almost like picture books to explain the stories of Jesus.
And on this one, we've got two pictures of Jesus rising from the dead and meeting the women who came to the tomb early to meet him. So it's a really powerful story shown in picture form on the window to remind the people who come here that Jesus rose from the dead. So this is the pulpit. Now the pulpit is there because before they had microphones, people would need to go up into the pulpit to be able to be seen and heard through the whole church. There might have been more than 300 people in the building, and they needed everyone to be able to see and hear what they were saying about God.
So this panel across the back here is the reredos. Each one of these panels is beautiful, tiny square mosaics. And each of these columns with the leaves around the top has been intricately carved into stone. It reminds us that worship isn't just about singing to God, it's about everything that we do. And for those that are really gifted and skilled craftspeople, making things to glorify God is a really beautiful act of worship. And at the centre of it all, the centre of the mosaics, the centre of the table, and the centre of the focus of the entire church is Jesus.
Now, this is something which has been used from old times, but also we still use it today. I've never actually preached up in the pulpit because we have microphones in church. So I usually preach from something like this, which is called a lectern. Now, the lectern is the place that we read the Bible from. And the Bible has been a key part of Christian worship for the whole history of the church. And it's still so important to us today. We believe that God speaks to us through his words in the Bible.
So this is where our band plays. We have an amazing music group here at St John's, and we love to be able to worship God using music and singing. At the moment, because of COVID, we're not all able to sing together, but our band still leads us in music, and we do other things like we've had some dancing and some crafts and some other ways of us being able to worship God together.
This bit behind me isn't an original part of the building. This is our kitchen and our area that we can gather to share in community and be family together. We think it's really important to be able to eat and drink together, to share meals, to share time with one another, to make friends. And so that's why we've got this area at the back of church. But the most recent extension to our church hasn't been part of this building at all. We've been extending to online services.
And so this is what church looks like for a lot of us now. Sitting on the sofa watching a screen. It has its bad points because it means we can't chat to people, can't see people face to face. Although one good point is that it means you can do church in your pyjamas, which is definitely a blessing sometimes.
So many people think about church as being the building that we've just been showing you. But in this time when we can't meet together all the time in that building, then what is the church? We asked a few people that question, and here's what my niece said.
We are the church.
Boom! What a great answer. That so sums it up. Do you know, wherever we are, whether we're at home or in the building, it's the people, it's us that are the church. Scattered around Mansfield or gathered together, we are the church, and we're still God's people. We can still worship him wherever we are. This doesn't need to be a time for the church to shrink under the restrictions, but actually a chance for us to grow into new places and give new people a chance to connect with God.
Thank you so much for joining us. We hope you've enjoyed this video, and also we hope to be able to connect with you in person really soon.
And if you've got any questions about church or God, then do get your teacher to write them down and they'll be able to send them through to us. And perhaps we'll do another video to answer some of your questions.
See you soon.
Bye.